So welcome back, everyone. And we are talking with Jurek Eichmann, and he is now in studio with me live here. I'm so glad to have you back here. Welcome back to the show. You are the president of Swiss American Financial Solutions. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, the book we're going to talk about today. I think you brought the different one, but anyway, whatever. We're going to talk a little bit about you and what you do and what we're going to talk about today.
All right, so let's start Adam and Eve, right? So bottom line is I was born in Switzerland and lived half of my life here in the U.S. by now. And when I came over here, I realized that a lot of people don't really understand the provisional income, which is something that actually defines whether or not you're going to pay taxes on your Social Security benefits. So I made this kind of a mission in my message to new clients. Because if you don't understand how your net worth and your yearly income is taxed, why do you even plan for investments? You should know that first. So we have built a full fiduciary financial network where we provide services in network, from creating trusts to full financial retirement planning to Social Security benefit optimization to actually income tax optimization. We're providing everything.
I have to talk about the Social Security side of things, because you said, and you have said before, that that's probably one of the first things you really like to talk to people about, because obviously when you turn, probably about 62 maybe, you start thinking, listen, I really think I want to start retiring, but people don't realize what that entails.
Yeah, that's correct. Obviously 62 to 70, there is an 85% difference in income, right? Should you take it early? Should you take it late? Should you take it at full retirement age? Well, nobody has a crystal ball. Actually, I do have one, but I need some Windex because it's really dull right now, right?
Especially, let's dust it off.
So no, the bottom line really is taking it early and still working might have substantial negative effects on your Social Security benefits. Taking it late and not converting some of your IRA into Roth IRAs, or at least plan it tax efficiently, might also have some major negative tax effects.
Well, it's important to listen to this information, and whether it's you or someone that you know, please let's talk about it. I know that we have an older clientele here that listen to us, and all of us are thinking about these things, but you need to talk to somebody who has experience, and you have like 25 years of experience with this.
Well, the firm was formed about 15 years ago, but my brother's actually was a managing director for one of the largest banks in the world back in Switzerland. So I was involved in finances all my life, plus my MBA from one of the best schools of economics back in Switzerland really helped me with understanding the connections between different aspects of the economy, global economy, and retirement income and taxation. And anyone who thinks that taxes are going to go down in the future, I have a little sand beach in Alaska to sell for you as well.
You know what I also want to say, especially with what's going on today, and what could happen to us this year. We were talking about that before you came on.
Right.
I mean, we're going to get affected. We're going to feel the effects of this for a long time.
For sure. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, just look at what happened. We're working with a really fantastic tactical asset management company, and they have a really nice strategy with a tactical overlay, meaning at some point when the market starts to go down, our clients are automatically out of the market and back in essentially intermediary bonds. So we had client conversations going like this: hey, Jurek, how is it possible the market's down 5% a day, but I just got credit at 7,000 today? And well, because intermediary bonds, they usually traditionally start to go up a little bit because everyone runs to safety. So looking back at why that happened, well, once the government decides to actually help the big corporations and companies to maintain their the book of business, they gave them all the money they needed to have all the earnings until the rest of the year without ever selling one item in their archives or in their storage. So of course the financial recovery in the stock market is completely lopsided compared to what's going on in our economy right now. We're probably around 15% unemployment rate. I'm guessing, again, that's my opinion, 1 in 3 restaurants and hotels and tourism industry businesses are probably going to go out of business and not coming back, because you think you're going to get a loan from a bank in a year or two from now when you just declared bankruptcy. Good luck with that. So anyone who thinks that this is not going to affect their Social Security benefits, their taxation, and overall their market performance, I mean, you know, and good luck in your world.
Now, you also have written a book that wrote the foreword
Yeah.
for
I
this
wish that
book.
was mine, yes.
I know, but it's okay. You're part of it, so that makes it. And I guess I think of you as that. But anyway, you wrote the foreword for this book, Bad Advisors: How to Identify Them and How to Avoid Them. Was this the book that we wanted to do, or that one today? I don't remember
Well,
now.
I took actually, you know, the author Rocky DeFrancesco is really one of the most amazing and most knowledgeable, highly intelligent people I've ever met in this financial industry, and he's also a little bit of a, you know, purist. He does not allow anything that he thinks is not in the best interest of the client, and so we actually have a little nickname for him. To me, he's the consumer advocate pit bull, because he really does not tolerate anything if it's skewed one way or another and not 100% in the favor of the client. So, in other words, the consumer is supposed to be protected, and he created the Wealth Protection Institute and created multiple designations for financial advisors just to make sure that there's at least one entity that'll make sure that a fiduciary is really what a fiduciary is supposed to be, which I brought this little legal dictionary. It's really the definition of a fiduciary is a person who has the power and obligation to act for another under circumstances which require total trust, good faith, and honesty. In other words, you can't sell someone a mutual fund when there's two of them available and sell them just the one that makes the advisor an extra percentage in fees when there's a better one that's for the client. You have to disclose both of them at the same time and let them know that there is a discrepancy and a difference between the two of them.
And sometimes people don't always do that. You've even mentioned that sometimes at the end of the year when they have some kind of a promotion going, right?
Right. Yeah, well, that's specifically mentioned in the Bad Advisors book, and I can just recommend for anyone who wants to read that. We have a free download on the SwissAmericanFinancial.net website. So instead of .com, it's .net. Again, it's www.SwissAmericanFinancial.net. You can sign up for that. There is nothing you need to do other than give us your information. We're required to have that. We're not bothering you. Just read the book. It's called Bad Advisors. Or on our website, we actually have a short, about 30-minute resume of the author, actually kind of like putting it all into a 30-minute overall overview of what an investor and a financial retiree needs to do in order to make sure that they're not getting ripped off.
So it would be a good idea to go up there. It's SwissAmericanFinancial.net. That's where you can go to
That's
that
right.
one and do that. So, okay, you do free consultations when you work with people. You have 5, more than that, offices. You have many offices here in Arizona, Glendale, Arrowhead, and Scottsdale. Also throughout the United States, you have
Yeah.
offices.
Mm-hmm.
And you can call him direct. The phone number is 602-703-6611. And check it out. It's SwissAmericanFinancial.net. We'll go ahead with that one right now. I know you brought that book along. Did you want to read anything that was in there? I see you have a...
Well, I just, we gave out a couple books recently to some of your great listeners and got great responses from the book so far. The one thing I would recommend anyone who's really interested in getting one of these free books, and again, we're going to give a few of them out here today, at least 5 of them.
Okay.
Just read chapter 2, okay? Because one thing that people don't understand is what it actually does to you in your health, right? Now that with coronavirus, you have to remember. So what does it do to your health when you lose money? And they can actually correlate that to the center in your brain that's, it has the same emotions if somebody dies. So when you lose money, it's the same thing. And if it lasts 7 years, like 2008, 2009, can you leave that money on the side, leaving it there with the 30, 40, 50% loss and look at it and watch it for 7 years without ever taking anything out? It's called the pain factor. Okay, that's a very important thing. That's chapter 2.
I can't believe you just said, you just maybe had like chills, because I just am so happy that you mentioned something like that. That is so neat, because people don't realize when you talk about the effects, it's not just about your money, it's about your health, because when you don't have your money and all of that, it affects you
Nothing.
big time.
Yep.
We've got our lines open here. We're going to open up the lines for when we get back for everybody to get entered into win. We've got 5 of them we're going to get out, but right now go up on his website. It's SwissAmericanFinancial.net. So we're going to keep on talking because we're live
Sure.
on Facebook now,
Yep.
so I want to keep
Sure.
on going.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about that, and when we come back, if it's
Yeah.
okay with you, we'll kind of recap that.
Mhm.
What have you seen with some of the people that you've been working with? I know for you, what you do and what makes you different is that you already are working with them so that they don't lose their health and they
Right.
don't lose their money. Let's talk a little bit about
Well,
that.
you know, the bottom line really, and I had a new financial advisor in my office this morning right before I came here. He is interested in maybe joining us, and it was so funny because his approach was, well, what are you guys selling? And like every other, you know, thing was kind of like going towards a product. Like, I don't care, the product or what, we don't sell anything per se. We really create financial retirement plans and optimize that and streamline it with your taxation, your Social Security, and then we also want to see, you know, what do you have to take out when you're 72? Now it's 72. You have to take a lot of money out. And we're lucky enough to have a lot of very wealthy clients, you know, that are people like you and me. You would never know, but they work for Boeing or they work for Honeywell or for one of actually
So
two
they
clients.
got those 401ks and things that
Very big. I have two clients who worked on actually in NASA on the spaceship. So they worked on those rockets, and they had very, very large 401ks and IRAs that put a lot of money away. And we calculated if those RMDs and they wait until 72, now all of a sudden you have to take in $100,000 every year. Can you imagine what effect that has? It's money you don't want, but you have to take it and declare it going forward from now until you pass away.
and you have to declare that, meaning you got to pay money on that.
Yep. And that makes your Social Security benefit 85% of it taxable right off the bat. Not a chance. You will all 85%. So in other words, if you have, let's say, $20,000, $17,000 of that will be taxable. So everything above $44,000 now turns into $1.85 of taxable income at the effective marginal tax rate. Nobody understands that, and it's never ever explained. I've
Well,
never seen it.
that's what I'm going to let you do when
Right.
we get back
Okay.
to, because I think it's important that they hear it again and again and again.
I agree.
Okay.
Can't talk about this enough.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I
It
think
should be
that's
taught in
what's key.
school.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It should. I don't know when in school because it should be,
Yeah.
but at the same time, our brains. What it should be is that at some point, as an adult, whether it's right maybe a couple years after college or whenever that age would be, we should be required then to take those courses. Not when we're really young in high school.
No.
We're still our minds
Yes.
are not there. It's our mind. We don't really. I don't think we really. What's the word that I'm looking for? Grow up. I don't know the word. We're immature.
Yeah.
You know, until then.
That's very true.
It is true.
But yes,
And we also think we're invincible.
yeah,
And the money is going to be there forever.
very different.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Jurg Eichmann, and he's the president of Swiss American Financial. Talking to you at the break. First of all, I could talk to you forever. I want to reiterate again what you wanted to talk about a little bit about also people's Social Security and what people don't know about. We're going to open up the lines of the audience here for everyone to get entered into one. We're just going to give 5 of them away to everybody out there. So 5 people are going to win. The book is called Bad Advisors, How to Identify Them and How to Avoid Them. Let me tell you something. I believe that everybody should have this book. If you're into the retirement, area of your life, you're thinking about it, you're getting ready for it, doesn't matter. This is a book that everyone needs to know. You said even most important is chapter 2.
No, chapter 2 is the peace of mind.
Oh, the peace of mind
Losing
book.
money is no longer an option. So
And
that's
there's another book that we
That's
have.
the second book. So
Yeah.
I'm gladly giving those away
Right.
too.
So we'll do either one or both, whatever it is that you want. We want both of them,
Right.
but we were talking a little bit about people's health. Call in here, get either book or both. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Let's talk a little bit about, you said, go back, recap real quickly on people's health, on that, and then I want to talk about what you said nobody knows about.
Well, the provisional income is how the IRS figures out whether or not you are eligible to pay taxes on your Social Security benefits. So let's take a couple married filing jointly. They're both getting Social Security benefits. Any dollar over $44,000 after deductions and exemptions that they're earning as income and declaring it turns $1 into $1.85 of taxable income. Again, I repeat, $1 turns into $1.85 of taxable income at your effective marginal rate. Now, just imagine, okay? So you're thinking that your most important focus of retirement planning is investing? Think again. Your most important part of retirement planning is, how do I take my income from my different assets? And how do I make sure that I don't go into the next tax bracket that's then negatively affecting everything else, plus my Social Security benefits? So we talked earlier. So if you have $10,000 in Social Security benefits and you're having over $44,000 in income, now every dollar turns it into $1.85. Up to $8,500 of that $10,000 of your Social Security benefits could be taxed at your effective marginal tax rate. Okay, so just think about that. So you think you're making 3% more and you take more risk than you should take just to make 3% more, but then you're getting taxed $1.85 versus someone who makes 3% less than you but is not taxed or less taxed on your Social Security benefit. It's day and night. And unless you see that actually on the screen with the software that we're using for our clients, you have no idea.
So the best thing for people to do is to have a consultation with you, sit down, because it's got to start off with obviously where are you right now, or what are your projections where you might be. For someone that's listening to you, do second opinions. I want people to know that, because it's important for people that are listening. Just because you're with somebody now, it doesn't mean you know that you can't just have him talk to you and let's say, hey, let's see where we're at and find out what might be best. You might even say you're doing fine. Right.
Yeah, and you know, the bottom line is you have loyalty to yourself, your family, and your finances. You don't have loyalty to anyone. I mean, I tell that my clients too. I'm lucky enough, I think we're providing a complete service because we're doing all these things. So a client can call us at Saturday morning, say like, hey, I'm buying a truck, 73 grand, I can get it for 68. And I'm telling him, hey, just wait a second, John, I can look this up, put it in our software, say like, well, here's the difference. If you take it from your IRA, you have an additional $17,000 in taxes. Is that worth taking the $5,000 lower price to pay $12,000 more in taxes after the fact? So that client is served, and that's how we retain our clients. And essentially, you have that loyalty to yourself and not your advisor. If I can't do this, and if I'm not advising you besides just selling you some products and annuities, life insurance, or stocks, bonds, mutual funds, what is my position? I'm a salesperson. That's not where I want to be. My grandpa always told me, he said, like, people will not remember you for what you sell them, but for the advice you give them and how you change their life positively.
Absolutely. He wrote the foreword for both of these books, and the one here we've got Bad Advisors, How to Identify Them and How to Avoid Them, and the other one is Peace of Mind Planning, Losing Money is No Longer an Option. And either one of them, you can have both, whatever. He wants everybody to have them and read them. They're so important for people out there that are retiring, thinking about it, or even in retirement. Our number here, 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Keep on calling because we want everyone to have it. Check him out on the website. It is SwissAmericanFinancial.net. You can also call him direct. His phone number is 602-703-6611. Offices in Glendale, Arrowhead, Scottsdale, also nationwide, so he can work with anyone. Free consultations, and he has over 25 years of experience. Again, 602-703-6611, or call me here and get these books. We want everybody to have them. 602-277-5369. What else should we talk about?
Well, you know, the other thing is the SwissAmericanFinancial.com is our actual net, that is the website for our company.
Okay.
The .com is the company website, so you can look us up. You can see all our ratings. You can get to education, where we have all the videos for asset protection. It's called something called how you can turn your equity into actual capital and how you can pay down your mortgage faster. So we cover pretty much everything. And the .com is that site. The .net is where you can download the free books.
Okay, so go to the .com to check him out. It is SwissAmericanFinancial.com. Please go there and check him out. Call in here, and I'll get you the books. 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I have to say this on air, okay? Because it was so cute what you said. Which is, and you just happen to mention that you've got all these ratings, and I'm assuming they're 5-star ratings everywhere. Yes. I bet. So when he came in, we were talking, and you said the first thing you said was, I give this year a 1-star rated or something like that.
2020 gets
2020 gets 1 star from him, and I guarantee you that everybody out there can feel that. And why did I mention that? we're living in probably the strangest times we've lived in ever. I don't know I don't know anyone that has lived with this. Obviously, anyone who's dealt with the Holocaust or things like that is different. But boy, oh boy, and when it comes to our money and people that we're dealing with, we really want to make sure that we're dealing with somebody who is obviously someone who has experience like you, somebody who can help us understand what's going on, and I think that's where you come in. And I love. I
like to think so. I really, to me, I love, my favorite thing to do is, once a client is a client, to have them on the phone call and then have like sometimes we do it weekly, sometimes I talk to them monthly, and we do, right now we turn into webinars, right? Because you said it's a strange time. We started wearing masks early because all my family, and I have lots of family back in Italy and Switzerland, and they were either doctors or in Italy highly effective with what's going on, so we started that early. But we had lots of clients who switched and said, like, can I just not come, but can we do a join.me or a Zoom or something like that? And so we started doing that, or FaceTime. And one of my favorite things doing with clients is see them then on the other side, and you still show them that you're there for them. And they have questions, and you know, it's complicated. It's, like I said, it's not just, you don't come to us and we're just selling you some stocks and bonds or annuities, whatnot. None of that stuff is bad, by the way, but it needs to be, you know.
Everything needs to be addressed. Correct. You're not saying that that doesn't get addressed. It's just that I think what you're passionate about is, where do we start? Which is everybody that's working with you from, let's say, the show or whatever, that are new people, you got to start where you're talking about.
You have to have a blueprint. You don't start a house and build a house without having a fundament and the blueprint where you want to go. So it's the same thing. Like, you start, your income is your walls, right? And then your health insurance is your frame for the roof. And then your retirement is the actual roof and the tile, and then what's inside is the fun stuff. But that has to be there. You got to have a blueprint for retiring. You got to have a blueprint to know where I'm going to be when I'm 70, when I'm 80. You have the go-go years, you have the slow-go years, and once you're 80, 85, you have the no-go years. Are you going to have enough money and energy by then? Anyone who had a severe illness, like I had myself once, you know you have no energy at that point. You don't want to have to worry and hassle about money and where the money's coming from and what taxation that's going to, you know, cost. You want to know that up front.
Well, we've got the books here for everyone to get, and to call him direct. You can even talk to him. He would love to talk to you. He does free consultations with everyone. It is the phone number to call him direct is 602-703-6611. His website is SwissAmericanFinancial.com. It works nationwide, but he has offices here in Glendale, Arrowhead, and Scottsdale. The books. This book here right now, I mean, obviously both of them are good, but when you sit here and talk about peace of mind planning, which is really what we're talking about here, losing money is no longer an option. And that's what this is all about. And most importantly, with your Social Security, because you can be losing a lot of money on that with taxation, more than you think. So we're going to give everyone the books. We want everyone to have them. At least 5 people are going to win them. Both of them, we want to just have you read them. 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I know these go fast, so but let's talk again. What would you want to, as you want to finish? We have a little time, but what would you want to talk about now that you want to talk about before we leave?
Well, the one thing I want to say first, we're giving these books out because usually we have lots of events, like with hundreds and thousands of people that we're sitting in front of, and this time it's not happening. So we're giving them out to you. You have lots of time in your hand. Discuss it with your family, and then give us a call. It doesn't cost anything. We won't talk you into anything. Just fair. We'll have a nice handshake at the end. Part ways.
The number to call is 602-703-6611, SwissAmericanFinancial.com. You can call in direct, you can call in here, and we're going to give everyone the books, whether it's just 2 of them, we just want you to have them. 5 people are going to win. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. He helps people nationwide. He does free consultations. He's a fiduciary and more. That number to call here, 602-277-5369. It's SwissAmericanFinancial.com.